hello and a warm welcome to the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, ahead of race 6 of the 2022 Global Series. Jack Appleyard and Jack Ghost will be here to talk you through this 15-minute qualifying session. And if you've just watched the Jerez qualifying, then we won't repeat the results. If you haven't watched the Jerez qualifying, then just stick us on pause, open a new tab and go and watch that one first, just so we're all in order.
Yeah, we'll wait.
You've done it for race 5 and then for race 6. You know, we need to make sure that we're ticking all the boxes correctly. It's a little
Very
snap.
wavy exit there, wasn't it?
It was a little snapper on the right-hand side as well. One of the photographers just trying to get pictures of these guys, and no, that's not what you're supposed to do, guys.
Come on.
That's the old way. You've got to go through the
cheeky.
chicane. Oh, for goodness sake.
Obviously no foam barriers there in the game like there was in real life, unfortunately, but then it's a good segue to talk about, of course, this is the first time that the guys on the eSport game and in the eSport Global Series will tackle the new chicane in Austria. Of course, turn 2 is no longer, 185 mile an hour left kink. Well, not really a kink, it was more of a
Straight.
shut your eyes and get it turned. But now, there it is, look, there's the Red Bull.
Oh,
That was a lovely little shot.
What a
well
beautiful
done
shot
to our
that is.
directors in the gallery. That was fantastic.
Well done, guys. Doing a great job as always.
But anyway, aside from all the theatre dramatics from our guys in the gallery, as we say, the new chicane, we're going to be seeing it very, very shortly indeed. Almost a dead stop. Second gear they were using in real life in MotoGP. These guys will be somewhere similar, but certainly adds a slightly different dynamic.
It certainly does, and I must say, from years previous, whenever we've come to the Red Bull Ring, this turn 1 here that we're going to see Christian MM17 flick right into the uphill turn 1, 90-degree right-hander, has caused utter carnage.
Yes.
Year in, year out. So, just to throw into the mix, now they've got to try and tackle this bad boy as well.
Yep.
Right, then left, turns 2A and 2B before firing it up to another place that we've seen have plenty of drama unfold down the years in the Global Series, turn number 3. So, if you're going to tune in for anything on Friday at 4 p.m. Central European time, make sure it's lap 1 of race 6 around the Red Bull Ring, because I think I can put it with absolute confidence we're going to have quite a little bit of bumping and barging.
Yeah, there's going to be some elbows out, some MotoGP eSport game pixels are going to get crunched, so we say. But yeah, certainly it's going to be a little bit dramatic on the opening lap. And speaking of opening laps, these guys then, they are all completing their opening exchanges here in the first qualifying session. Looks as though Adrian, as we cut on board with him, is going to lead them. Oh, wow, he just took the front through turn 9. Managed to save it, fantastic. But I don't think this is going to be the quickest lap in the world, but we'll see what it is as it comes across the line then. Coming across the line now, so 125.692. Who's going to be it coming across? Oh, no one so far.
Oh.
Ah, there it is, Christian MO17. He's going to go 1/10 quicker, and it looks as though at the minute everyone's had a little bit of a slow one because no one's going quicker just yet.
Yep, track limit issues for Piero Ricciuti, Trastevere, Mastru and Tati Go as well. Andrea Severi on the Suzuki will come across the line momentarily to post his first lap, I imagine. There he goes, 3rd for the Suzuki man, 1/4 of a second adrift. So after the first flying laps, it's Christian MM17, Adrian and Andrea Severi on your front row of the grid. But in the preceding 11 minutes, I think that's going to change.
Yeah, I would say so. And if there was a name that you picked up there that Jack just said that you're thinking, hang on a minute, who's this guy? And you didn't watch the first qualifying session for round 3 of the Global Series, Mastru will be a new name to you. Unfortunately, Dark Bright is no longer competing in the 2022 Global Series. Just time constraints, feels he can do something else better with his time. So thank you to Dark Bright, and of course, we'll wish Mastru good luck in his opening Global Series round. And he didn't do too bad in the first qualifying session he ever competed in either.
Hashtag Grazie Dark Bright. It was a pleasure having you in the championship. But I'm sure that he will remain a familiar face. We see actually quite a few riders from previous years coming and supporting their compatriots, of particular Mugello and Valencia as well, of course, as is no surprise to anyone. There's quite a strong contingent of Spanish and Italian riders in this championship, so there's as a result, quite a big following within those areas. So it's always good to see friends, family, and previous faces from Global Series down the years coming and supporting their colleagues. So everyone into pit lane then. They'll be sticking some brand new soft rubber at their machines ahead of the next batch of flying laps. And in terms of the championship, well, this is how we look heading towards round 3 of the Global Series. A reminder once again that all of these events held virtually from Barcelona offer up half points, which is why we get the unfortunate challenge for our mathematics of dealing with 0.5s here and 0.5s there. But Trastevere currently leading away with 60.5 points. Adrian 6 adrift on 54.5, and Andreas Severi 10 points adrift of Trastevere with 50.5 points. So even at this early stage, with half points available, which means obviously there's less points on the table, those guys second and third, Adrian and Severi, really do need to start finishing ahead of Trastevere. Double points at the final round as always, which gives everyone an opportunity to try and claw back in some valuable points, but still you don't want to give yourself a mountain before you head to Valencia. You need to try and keep it as close as possible.
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's going to be difficult to consistently score more points than Trastevere as we see Piero Chuti now go red through the third split. So 2 corners to go then and see what the wild child on the full factory Ducati can do. Oh, it takes a healthy chunk of curb, and that was not what he wants. There is a potential pole position lap gone awry. That one's gone missing then. But as we do say, beating Trastevere is going to be a little bit difficult because, I mean, he's just so consistent and fast everywhere. But when you think of those top 3 in the championship, Trastevere, Adrian and Andreas Severi, they've all had 3 podiums each so far in 2022 out of the 4 races we've had. So they're not inconsistent themselves either. It's just that on those odd occasion where they get beaten out in the first couple of laps, Trastevere always seems to manage to just be that 1 place higher. Yeah,
it's just about limiting your bad days. I think in this championship, consistency is absolutely everything. We see it in qualifying, in races. It's all about being as precise as you possibly can be. And that comes down to the results as well. And this man is right up there as one of the best when it comes to consistency. Adriana, 2020 world champion, lost the crown last year, of course, to the Italian Tras, looking to bite back, bounce back, win it back this year, and he's doing a good job of it so far. 6 points adrift, as we said, in the championship, and now looking to take pole position for race 6 of the 2022 Global Series. The Repsol Honda comes across the line and takes top spot with 7 minutes remaining. But wait, the Suzuki of Severi is on the charge as well.
Yeah, Andrea Severi is certainly a man that knows how to put his MotoGP machine on pole position. We're about to come through the second split now. Can he keep it red? No, he doesn't. He just goes PB. But he's only 3 tenths off on his best lap at the minute, so he's certainly going to be close. Keep an eye on this one as we come through the third split. Andrea Severi is going for pole position once more.
He certainly is. Into the final sector then very shortly. Left and then right, just transferring the weight from one side to the other and then firing down the hill towards turns 9 and 10 here at the Red Bull Ring. You've got to be so precise on the brakes here. Downhill, very difficult to get it stopped. Same again here for the final corner. Exit is everything as well. Is this good enough for the front row of the grid? It certainly looks so. Here comes Severi across the line now, and third it is. He's only a 1/10 of a second adrift, but it's only good enough for the outside of the front row.
1/10 covering the front row then. It is pretty close at the minute. Davide Galigna is the only man on another improving lap so far at the minute, but with 6 minutes to go, I'm sure there will be lots more coming in. Here we go then, we cut to him coming down now into turn 3, is this?
It is,
I know, turn 4, I do beg my pardon.
Yes.
Got confused there with the straights here in Austria. Turn 4, then this one is a tyre punishing corner up through 5 as well. Always spinning, they'll click 4th, maybe even 5th gear coming through there. Throw it into the left-hander at 6. It's a bit of a long one. Doesn't matter if you drop wide, you can cut it back to the second apex. Cut on with him now. This is another tricky one. You've got to get it turned in nice and early. Wait, be smooth, patient on the throttle, throw it over. Don't take too much curb and fire it out down towards the final 2 corners.
Very nice so far from Galigna on the Aprilia into these final 2 turns then. There's turn 9, here's turn 10. 8th at the moment, the Aprilia man. 8/10 of a second adrift. He only needs to find 2 thousandths to be able to jump ahead of the Indonesian Tatigo. Comes across the line now, and he does just that. Finds a 1/10 of a second to move 7th. 5 minutes remaining then. And my eyes are drawn to the men 11th and 12th at the moment and yet to post a lap time. Piero Ricciuti, the wild child, on the factory Ducati. We saw him crash out at the final corner whilst being on course for pole position. And this man, the world champion, he's got 5 minutes to, well, set a lap time full stop. He cannot be qualifying at the very back of the grid. That would be a disaster. So we will stay with the factory Yamaha man, the number 73, as he comes into this new chicane. Gets it over to the left-hand side, takes plenty of curb there, but just about stays in track limits. Now hard onto the brakes once more for turn number 3. Again, all about getting it stopped and then upright and fired out. So far, so good. It's a personal best, but that goes without saying because he's yet to set a lap time. The interesting thing to note, not red, so it doesn't look like it's on course for pole position. Turn 4 here for Trastevere.
Yeah, gets it stopped, but does run a tiny little bit wide. Doesn't quite clip the apex there through number 4. Keep it tight now through 5, and this is a really tricky direction change. A lot trickier than you might think. So many times we'll see the guys get a little bit of a head shake there and run deep through turn 6, but no such problem then for Trastevere. Look at this, Christian MM17 sneaking another lap in. He's on a PB and he's only 68 thousandths off. This could be extremely close indeed.
It certainly could. Is the LCR man going to steal pole position away from brother on the factory Honda? Here he comes across the line. Ooh. No, stays where he is. Ricciuti
gets
one on the board. 4th for the factory Ducati man. Trastevere in the back of the shot there will come across the line now and go 7th.
That's not going to be good for Trastevere.
3rd row of the grid for the world champion. And I just wonder, Jack, if the same for Ricciuti as well. Those two guys, given the circumstances, 5 minutes to go, yet to post a lap time, just went for a conservative approach.
It's certainly possible, yeah, certainly possible. Get a banker in. There's not too much wrong you can do with just getting a banker in, of course. You know, Trastevere 6 tenths off 7th position, and if that's his banker lap, and if now he does go all out and push the limit and take a little bit of risk, I'm sure we'll see him rocket up those time screens. But certainly, as you say, Jack, good idea to get a banker in because, I mean, you know, starting 7th is so much better than starting 12th, particularly for Trastevere when he only has a very slender 6-point lead.
Talking of being on the limit, here's Adrian, the Repsol Honda man. Can he put it out of reach for everyone here before 2 minutes to go? He's done a pretty good job of it. Now well over a 10th clear of brother Christian. That is a strong, strong lap from the Repsol Honda man. 125.421. He's going to take something pretty special in these closing 2.5 minutes for anyone to better that.
Yeah, great effort then. Adrian going for his 3rd pole position of the season. We'll see if he can pick it up with only 2 minutes to go then. Mr. T was on an improving lap, but that one looks like it's gone away. He's dived into the pits. It looked like it was invalid. Tatigo is on a better lap as well. Halfway round, he's 0.9 off at the minute. Ooh, that sounded like it spun up a little bit there on the direction change. We're on board with the Indonesian now on the Gracini Racing machine. Look how much they have to throw it in here. It's an incredibly difficult braking area coming down into turn 9. Looks as though he's just ran a little bit deep, but does get it stopped fairly nicely. See if he can come across the line and keep it on the improved tarmac. Here we go then. What is he? He's about a 10th off Davide Galino in front, and he does go ahead. Actually goes ahead of Trastevere by 1,000th. Wow. So look at that. The champion gets pushed back another place.
You would have got pretty good odds.
He needs to get a shift on
for
here, Trastevere.
Tatigo to be ahead of Trastevere. He's
128.
He gets to cut the chicane. So he'll gain, what, 5 or 6 seconds there?
Yep, at least.
It's going to be tight, though. This is going to be really tight.
Should be okay, but yeah, this is proper motor freestyle, leaving it to as late as you can leave it.
I don't think he's the only one as well, though. There are a couple of guys behind exiting pit lane. I think this is going to be a pretty dramatic ending here. Just 60 seconds to go. The world champion down in 8th, which would be his worst qualifying session for, well, God knows. I can't remember the last time he was off the front 2 rows of the grid, never mind down in 8th. This is a shocker so far for Trastevere. If he can't come across the line and start his last flying lap, well, watch Andrea Severi here, the Suzuki man. No such problems for him. 3rd at the moment, fastest of anyone through the opening sector. This is going to be good stuff coming from the Suzuki, but let's please stay with Trastevere. 30 seconds remaining. We need to see if the world champion is going to make it across the line. We cut from the Red Bull ring there, of course. What a lovely shot this is. A helicopter shot. looking at the Red Bull and its horns, and here is Trastevere. He's going to be okay. Here we go. Out of the final corner. 15 seconds remaining. It's all good. Trastevere's done it. 10 to go.
All or nothing.
It was pretty tight, but yeah, this is it. 8th at the moment. This has to be good. Otherwise, he's in all sorts of bother for race 6 of the Global Series tomorrow. Last time we joined Severi, he was fastest and on course for pole position. It does look though it has slightly drifted away from him since then. He comes across the line and he will stay third for the moment. Adrian has taken the checkered flag. He didn't make it round in time. So that is the time to beat then. 125.
Oh, and he's ruined it. That is going to be it
wide.
then.
He's gone
Trastevere
wide.
will start 8th at best. And Mr. T and Davide Galina are both on PB laps. That could be it. Imagine here if Trastevere ends up on the end of the 3rd row or even the 4th row. That would be a disaster for him, particularly here in Austria. We've said about that turn 1 that there is always chaos. If he ends up in chaos and falls off at the start of this race on Friday in the Global Series, that could really take a massive chunk out of his championship points total.
Mr. T has exceeded track limit, so it's all done for him. But this could be pole position for the LCR man. He tried 5 minutes earlier to snatch it away from brother Adrian. Can he do it this time around with the checkered flag out? Ricciuti goes second, and Christian MM17 goes to pole! Oh, with exactly the same lap time. Would you believe it? Look at that. The brothers tied at the top with a 125.421. But Christian takes it thanks to his fastest 2nd lap of the session. Wow.
Cracking job. Awesome, that. Exactly the same lap time then for the brothers, the top 2. Piero Ricciuti with a late lap puts it on the front row for the Factory Ducati squad. Andrea Severi will start from 4th. Not bad for him and not bad for Jack Hammer either. Vindex, well done that man on the RNF Yamaha. He will start 6th. Then Tati Go with another strong qualifying performance from Trastevere. That is the big story here. 8th place for the reigning world champion. That is a terrible qualifying for the Yamaha man. With Mr. T in 9th, Davide Galina, Spadalongo and Hugh Mastrou rounding us up on only his 2nd session in the Global Series.